What's up, guys? My name is John and welcome to the channel. Quick little intro. I have loved video games and hip hop since single digits, and I've literally this has been a passion project that I've been working on for the last 2-3 years or so. And I hope you guys enjoy, and we can build a community around these two things. Alright, so some time ago, I beat Assassin's Creed Origin. And just recently, I beat Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Origins took me completely by surprise. It was, I wouldn't say a breath of fresh air, but it was definitely refreshing compared to a lot of the open world sandbox games that are out now. And I slept on that game because I felt like I slept on Origins on account that I wasn't a fan of the other Assassin's Creed game. I heard they had implemented a new ship system in Black Flag. That sounded interesting, but because there was still the Assassin's Creed part to it, I wasn't really motivated to go out and play it or spend money on it or what have you. And by listening to different podcasts and some of my friends, I was inspired to go out and play it. It was pitched as a light version of Witcher 3, and that is literally one of my top 10 games, maybe the last 10 to 15 years, if not overall. So I picked up the game, played it, and pretty much loved it from beginning to end. I love the character. I love the side characters. I love the motivations. I like the plot. But most of all, I am a gameplay person. If I don't enjoy the process, if I don't enjoy the journey, then the destination really doesn't matter too much to me, right? So, with that said, fast forwarding to today, where I have already beaten the next installment, Odyssey, I feel underwhelmed. Not because it was a bad game. I still feel like whatever strengths they had in Origins, they pretty much was able to keep as far as gameplay, but everything else kind of suffered. I think it's fair to say that a lot of the quests in Origins lent something to the overall experience, whether it was very loosely part of the main story or just was like a really cool outside of the story experience. I enjoyed it. Odyssey, not so much. I personally can't remember any quest that had to do with anything that was going on. Oh no, that's a lie. There was one thing very early on in Odyssey that I remembered later on in the game, but because you do so much grinding and like other stuff, you can like easily lose focus, especially if you have like ADD like I do. I'm all over the place sometimes. So when you're playing this game for hundreds of hours, it loses that value of continuity. Like it's not there. It doesn't feel like it's there, even if it is. But yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for me, how they just like stuffed all of these mindless quests, and a lot of them were repetitive and kind of meaningless and like hollow. They were just there to extend the playtime, and that's it. I would say the biggest disappointment was the actual story. It had so much potential. It's literally like, all right, you get to pick between two characters. I picked the female. There's a guy. in it as well that you can choose. And I'm pretty sure there's slight differences, but I picked the female. I just, I love playing badass females. So the character I picked, his name is Cassandra, and she plays, I guess, a descendant of some kind to Leonidas from 300, Gerard Butler's character. I don't know if it's a direct, like, from movie to game thing that they did, but, like, that's pretty much the backstory to these characters. They're descendants from a very great general who lays down his life for his country. And she pretty much is going through life by herself as a missionary. She didn't grow up in the best circumstances, and she's just taking drachmy, or what we would call money, from whatever job she can get. And so, yeah, like I said, it has so much potential to be really good and fun. You get to have like these little relationships and stuff that really don't do anything. But for me, who I like to role play kind of when I'm playing these characters and really create somebody who I felt like, all right, this is a badass character, or this is the playing style that I want to do. Like, even if I really don't, even if the decision that's maybe extreme, if I decided on a specific play way, I want to see it all the way through. So I enjoyed aspects of, being a heterosexual male, playing a badass female. I'm still attracted to females, so I wanted to be able to play through that. And through the main story, yes, they allow you to do that. No issues. However, in the DLC, they force you to be in a very specific situation and kind of shake their heads at you if you don't pick the right one. So that was a really big fail. However, I would still argue that the DLC story was way better than the original one, because it was literally just track down all cult members and kill them and happy ending. Whereas the DLC it reminded me more of Origins. What else? Yeah, besides, I would say, some of the abilities, there's a lot. It feels like there's a lot more abilities and ways to use them throughout Odyssey than they were in Origins. But that's literally where the buck stopped. Like I said, between the weak storyline, the hundreds of meaningless quests, I would even argue to say the lack of really cool weapons. They had some in there, definitely. I'm more of a sword guy, but I dibbled and dabbled in other stuff. I'm more of a sword and shield guy. There was no shields. The whole time you had to use a spear, which I'm pretty sure was Leonidas' spear, and you get to upgrade it and do different things with it. But you literally couldn't use a shield in this one, and I think that was kind of weird. But whatever. They had a couple cool outfits, but I think that's all they really were. In Origins, I don't remember you being able to upgrade or add things to your equipment. If so, then disregard this, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. You were able to in Odyssey, and that was really cool, so they get points for that. But yeah, I think that's really about it. That was really just how I felt at the end of it. Like, they kind of dropped the ball in that one. I hope if they continue to make these games and continue to go down that path, that they take more time to flush out these stories, because I don't think we're getting any more witches, and I would love more games that like had that kind of love and detail for it. You know what I mean? I won't give any scores to things. It's not really what I'm trying to do here. Just more so of an opinion based of the games that I'm passionate about. So I would say when this game is on sale, go for it. I think they have a couple bundles now. And you know, when it's under like $30, cool, go for it. Especially when they have like the gold editions where they give you all the DLC, and they might even still have another DLC or two dropping. I'm not sure. I didn't really pay attention. But yeah, the game overall was okay, but Origins is still way better if you're looking into that style of games where, I guess, if you're like me, you don't really have the time to put a lot into open world games, but you do like very lengthy, story driven meets really intuitive and progressive gameplay. Origins is really, really good for that. And Odyssey is not. It's like a cool look into Greek history, but not much more than that. And with that concludes the first episode of the Gray Area podcast. Thank you guys so much for sitting here listening to me ramble on about my thoughts and opinions about something I'm so passionate about. And all support is always welcome and appreciated. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Laters.